FDA is trying to put a ban on this device. Find out how this could actually be a better alternative than smoking cigarettes. Next on State of Events.
Hi, and welcome to the last spring edition of State of Events. I'm Austin Stanley.
And I'm Valerie Van Ryn.
The bus service Samtrans is being investigated for fraud. Employees for the San Mateo Bus Company are stepping forward, and they're sharing how the company is spending taxpayer money. Reports say that the company has been paying the $38,000 tuition payments for its CEO to get his master's degree. The company is also accused of paying over $72,000 to an accounting firm that hasn't done business with Samtrans since 2009. The San Mateo District Attorney says he's starting an audit of the agency's spending.
It's getting hot outside. A heat advisory has been issued for the Bay Area, and that means spare the air days. Monday was the first spare the air day of the season. Health officials say high temperatures means no winds and more smog. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District is urging people to cut down on driving to help with the smog levels. Temperatures are expected to hit the 90s this week.
The June 3rd election is coming up, and the future of San Francisco's waterfront is on the ballot. Proposition B is designed to stop the city from letting developers build taller buildings than the current height limit on the land between Fisherman's Wharf and AT&T Park. Voting yes means you want to enforce the height limit for buildings on the waterfront. Voting no tells the city to start selling off big portions of land for projects. Opponents say the new buildings will mean more jobs and parks. People for the proposition say it will stop the construction of luxury condos and protect the city's quality of life.
President Obama stopped by the Bay Area on Friday. He was only here for one day, but he attended Democratic fundraisers and he held a speech on green energy. He spoke inside a Walmart in Palo Alto, and demonstrators were out in front of the store protesting the president's choice of location. They say that holding a speech at Walmart shows the support for the company's underpayment of staff and mistreatment of employees.
Over 1,000 pounds of marijuana was found at Pescadero State Beach yesterday. San Mateo County sheriffs say they found 42 bundles of marijuana weighing about 30 pounds each inside an abandoned boat and SUV. Federal agents say the boat is believed to have come from Mexico. The word Sinaloa printed on the side of the boat is the name of a Mexican city. Police are still looking for the suspects involved.
Vaporizers, also known as e-cigarettes, are facing new legislation banning their use in most public places in California. Nikki Pena has more on the story.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on location at the vape area in San Mateo, where shop owners told me that compared to a cigarette that contains 18 to 24 milligrams of nicotine, this device, better known as an e-cigarette or a vape, can actually be a healthier alternative or even an aid in quitting smoking.
Vaping, a new trend that has emerged, gives smokers a way to enjoy smoking in a different form.
Yeah, I haven't met anyone who has started vaping who had not smoked cigarettes first. People are looking towards vaping to get away from cigarettes.
Recently, the FDA is trying to put stricter bans on vaping, comparing it to cigarettes, but Joseph told us there's actually a big difference between the two.
There's only 4 ingredients inside the liquid. It contains vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, nicotine, and extracts like artificial flavors. So like when you compare that to I think I said 600 ingredients that are inside of a cigarette, that's way less to mess with. Then you have the fact that it's vaporizing and not burning, so you're eliminating that factor as well.
A large concern of the FDA is that the fruity flavors attract young children. However, it's a different demographic the vape appeals to.
It's more men between the ages of 20 to 30 who are previous smokers.
Joe even told me in our interview that when selling a vape to a customer, he advises them of a certain vape etiquette that they should follow.
They should treat it just like how they would treat a regular cigarette. They would want to go outside to have it. You won't want to have people vaping inside of a restaurant if you have your children sitting at a table next to you. I mean, there could be a lot of clouds coming your way.
Now, the vape is still prohibited from being sold to minors and does not cause any secondhand smoke. Here in San Mateo, Nikki Pena with State of Events.
Coming up, we'll take that first look at the nearly 300 girls kidnapped from a Nigerian boarding school. And
up next on State of Events, we'll take a closer look at the homeless community in the East Bay.
We shop at the American Cancer Society Discovery Shops for
designer clothes, household items, and quality collectibles.
I volunteer at the American Cancer Society Discovery Shops to benefit a cure for cancer.
We donate to Discovery Shops where profits go towards cancer research, education, and patient services. Discover your shop.
Discover a cure. Discovery Shops.
Welcome back. 40 veterans are dead after waiting for medical care at a VA hospital. Congress is investigating the Department of Veteran Affairs for allegedly delaying medical care to veterans. A former doctor has come forward saying that over 40 veterans have died due to delays at the department's Phoenix hospital. Congress is taking the allegations seriously and are looking into the incidents. They want documents and emails relating to the delays. The Secretary of the Veterans Administration is under pressure to step down.
the city of San Francisco is suing a family for misusing taxpayer dollars. City Attorney Dennis Herrera says the city paid the family to run apartments for homeless people. He says the family ignored city and fire building codes, caused raw sewage leaks and bed bug infestations. He says the taxpayers were billed for substandard housing. And homelessness in the Bay Area is a multi-million-dollar problem. State of Events' Suzette Reynoso takes us to Alameda County, where thousands of people are struggling to stay in or even find a home.
On the corner of 5th and Broadway in downtown Oakland stands a man holding a sign that reads,
"Almost hungry and broke. I need any help.
Hungry, homeless, and broke is exactly what more than 16,000 people in Alameda County a year are experiencing.
On any given night, there's at least 4,500 people on the streets, or in shelters, or unsheltered.
Alameda County is one of the top 10 least affordable housing markets in the U.S.
There's just not enough affordable housing to go around, and people will become homeless. Right now, the median rent in Oakland is around $1,200 to $1,300 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, which means that you have to carry at least 2 full-time minimum wage jobs in order to survive.
I go to fill out applications for a job and stuff. They look at me, I'm not looking presentable, and then we'll call you, leave a number. But how can I leave a number when I don't have a phone?
Approximately 34,000 of Alameda County's residents are at a severe risk of homelessness because they are paying more than half of their income on housing.
Physical sickness, mental illness, you lose your job, something goes wrong, and you're out on the streets.
They end up sleeping in the park or on one of these benches downtown or something like this, and then the security guards come and run you off about 5 or 6 in the morning.
Most Americans are only a couple paychecks away from homelessness. You just don't see a lot of people that are homeless. A lot of people are staying place to place, or doubled up in garages, or sleeping in places that are unfit for sleeping, and they're out of sight.
Some days I don't even have enough to get a room, so I just sleep on the street. But I depend on the people that's coming off the train, because most of them I give them respect. Most of them like me. They come out and give me clothes and food and stuff like this here, so I can survive. Give me a few bucks and everything, and I add it up at the end of the day and get me a little room for the night. And whenever I'm not fortunate enough to get the room, I just sleep in the street wherever I can.
Reporting from downtown Oakland, I'm Suzette Reynoso, State of Events.
An Arkansas judge has overruled the state's 10-year-old same-sex marriage ban. Over 200 gay couples in Arkansas got their marriage licenses since the judge's decision. Not all courthouses are following in the judge's footsteps, though. Most county clerks are still waiting for the Supreme Court decision before changing the bans. Arkansas is the 18th state to allow same-sex marriage and is the first former Confederate state to lift the same-sex marriage ban.
Pro-Russian activists have taken over eastern parts of Ukraine, and a world leader is visiting the region to try and find a solution. State of Events' Talia Semelian is here with that and more world news. Talia?
Thanks, Austin. Amid the Ukraine crisis, Germany's foreign minister is traveling to Kiev to find a diplomatic solution. Reports say he could also visit the east of the country, where pro-Russian activists held a referendum on self-rule on Sunday. Earlier, a separatist leader called on Russia to absorb the eastern Ukrainian region of Donetsk. The United States and European Union say the referendums in Donetsk and Luhansk were illegal. Germany says the referendum cannot and must not be taken seriously. Moscow annexed Ukraine's southern autonomous Republic of Crimea in March following a controversial referendum. And Kiev fears a similar outcome in Donetsk, Luhansk, and parts of southern Ukraine. Russia has called for the results of Sunday's vote to be implemented. Meanwhile, according to the BBC, armed separatists remain in control of many official buildings across eastern Ukraine. And now to Nigeria, where Boko Haram has released a video showing about 100 of the 276 schoolgirls they kidnapped nearly a month ago. This is the first time they've been seen since their abduction on April 14th. The video features the girls sitting quietly on the ground, dressed in traditional Islamic garb. In separate shots included in the 27-minute video, a man says he will release the girls only after imprisoned members of the terror group are freed. According to FAP, the man identifies himself as the Boko Haram leader, but Nigerian officials disputed this claim, arguing that the leader is dead. Other experts say the notorious terror group leader is alive. Nigeria's interior minister says the country doesn't negotiate with terrorists. However, at a later briefing, the director of the National Orientation Agency said negotiations could be an option when it comes to rescuing the kidnapped girls. In South Sudan, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has called for a special tribunal. He says crimes against humanity were likely committed since widespread violence began 5 months ago. The UN welcomed last Friday's ceasefire agreement by President Salva Kiir and his former Vice President Riek Machar, and demanded an immediate end to fighting, which flared over the weekend. He called for 30 days of tranquility so farmers can plant crops in peace to avoid famine in the world's newest nation. South Sudan saw massive violence sweep the country in December, when fighting broke out between troops loyal to Kiir, an ethnic Dinka, and those loyal to Machar, an ethnic Nuer. A new UN report says gross violations of human rights have been committed on a massive scale in South Sudan. Ban says his message to both leaders was clear. The perpetrators of these crimes against humanity will be held accountable. And the sea levels could rise much faster than previously thought. Scientists say that the glaciers in western Antarctica are melting at an unstoppable rate. Researchers say the ice sheets will continue to melt for decades or even centuries to come. This new data means the sea level could rise as much as 4 feet. That's the World Update. I'm Talia Semelian.
Coming up, the shocking video of a fight between Beyonce's sister and Jay-Z. And after the break, a new high-tech door that's a smart solution for small spaces.
When it's time to choose healthcare for your child, you want the best. When it's time for your child's physical exam, you want a professional you can trust. At Valencia Health Services, your time is well spent. We provide professional quality healthcare. Valencia Health Services, dedicating quality time to every child, every visit. Committed to professional healthcare because your child's health is our first priority. Valencia Health Services, quality time because we care.
California is one step closer to requiring all smartphones to have a kill switch. The state Senate passed a second draft of a bill requiring it last week. It's now sitting on the governor's desk waiting for approval. If approved, the bill will require all new smartphones sold in California to come with the anti-theft device. Last month, the bill's first draft was voted down because of a vague description of a smartphone. Legislators hope it will deter cell phone thefts in the future.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away? What about 3.2 billion apples? Cupertino-based Apple is looking to buy Beats by Dr. Dre headphones for $3.2 billion. If Apple acquires Beats, subscribers would pay $10 a month for unlimited access to iTunes songs in the service catalog. This could be Apple's biggest purchase ever and would make Dr. Dre the first hip-hop billionaire.
The plan for regulating internet neutrality could be changing. Net neutrality ensures that all online traffic receives the same internet speed by service providers. The FCC chair has been working to change those laws to allow companies to buy into faster lanes. The original proposal caused public outrage and criticism from tech companies, and now the FCC is revising the plan. The new proposal will be announced sometime this week.
With more tech news, we now turn to State of Events' Kyle Nitchie with Tech Talk. Kyle?
Hello there, thank you very much. I'm Kyle Nitchie, and this is your Tech Talk. A new bionic arm just made approval after 8 years of testing. The DECA arm is funded by DARPA, which is a branch of the Pentagon, and the first prosthetic that can perform multiple simultaneous movements via electromyogram electrodes implanted in the brain. The arm can perform such delicate tasks like using keys and locks and handling eggs without even breaking them. And if you're into robots, have you heard about the Army's new Black Hawk helicopter? Check that out. Well, it's about to fly solo, as in no pilot. It's part of the Army's effort to help reduce troops and cost, and in this case, letting the $25 million piece of equipment carry out expeditionary and resupply operations by itself. No word yet when the chopper becomes standard issue, but test flights are underway to enhance military operations. And have you ever wanted more from that novel you're reading? Well, how about a soundtrack to go with that 50 Shades of Grey? Transpose is a program which electronically generates piano pieces where the notes are dependent on emotional words. The algorithm uses databases to rate words according to their emotional value, which analyzes sentiment in the text and measures its emotional temperature. And before I leave you folks, check this door out. Australian designer Clemens Torgler developed a door using a rotating square that moves the door sideways with tracks, completely eliminating the 2 to 4 feet needed for a swinging path of any conventional door. How cool is that? Well, that's all for Tech Talk. I'm Kyle Nitchie. Thanks for watching. Back to you guys.
A crazy fight between Beyonce's sister and her husband, Jay-Z. The details after the break.
Donate to Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco and let your change become the change a family needs. Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco, building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
If you're itching to see the new 49ers stadium, you won't have to wait much longer. Starting in August, Levi's Stadium will start offering public tours. The tour costs $25. That's $60 less than the average game day seat price. The tour covers most of what will be available during game day. Tourists will get to peek into the cheerleaders' locker rooms, access to the playing field, and of course, the team store. Tickets for public as well as group tours are set to go on sale before the stadium opens in July.
In entertainment news, a video surfaced that shows Beyonce's sister attacking Jay-Z. Kaylee Hendricks is back in the studio with us to fill us in on that and more. Kaylee?
Thanks, Valerie. TMZ released the elevator footage of Beyonce's sister, Solange Knowles, violently attacking Jay-Z, her brother-in-law. The attack happened right after the Met Gala at the Standard Hotel in New York City. A man in the elevator, appearing to be a bodyguard, tries to restrain Solange, who still manages to make contact with Jay-Z multiple times. You can see Jay-Z cornered. He never tries to strike back. You can also see Beyonce, who is almost standing in the shadows, doing nothing to stop the fight. This has raised some questions as to what the altercation was all about. But there's no audio on the tape, so it remains a mystery. Kim K just recently celebrated her upcoming marriage to Kanye West at a surprise bridal shower in Beverly Hills. She wore a stunning white body-hugging dress with pearl embellishments. Wedding preparations are in full swing for Kim Ye, although everyone close to the family has been very hush-hush when it comes down to the fine details. We do know that the couple plan to tie the knot in a civil ceremony before the big day. They will swap their vows in a lavish celebration in Paris. Kim has denied the various rumors that she is already a married woman, saying, "Unless you hear it from us, please don't believe the nonsense." In an exclusive interview with Barbara Walters, Shelley Sterling, wife of Clippers owner Donald Sterling, says she was eventually going to file for divorce. She also says they have been estranged for quite some time. Regarding Mr. Sterling's recent actions, Shelley revealed that she believes her husband is suffering from the onset of dementia.
It was horrible when I heard it. I mean, it was just degrading, and it made me sick to hear it. But as far as a racist, I don't really think he is a racist.
Shelley Sterling also added that the Clippers franchise is her passion and is her legacy to her family. That was your entertainment segment for today. This is Kaylee Hendricks. Back to you guys.
Well, guys, that's a season wrap on Kaylee and a season wrap for us.
It's been a great run in spring 2014.
Thanks for watching State of Events.
It's been a pleasure bringing you the top stories of the week.
State of Events will be back next fall, but until then, have a great summer.
For more information on State of Events or to contact us for jobs, visit ksfsmedia.net. Thank you.